I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 178, NBA Live 2000. Released in 1999, this game was developed by NewFX and published by Electronic Arts. We played NBA Live 99 all the way back at Game 83. This is the last of this series on the console, so we're getting ever so closer to eliminating this plethora of sports games from this challenge. I remember that game not being the greatest, but I generally enjoyed the NBA Live games on the PS2. I don't know, I just feel like the N64 in general was rough with sports games. The multiplayer certainly made them interesting though. However, we're only playing single player. Let's get into it. I was looking through the menus after turning the game on and noticed something quite interesting. Michael Jordan 1-on-1. Well, I definitely had to try this. I ran with Vince Carter because I was hoping I could dunk over him. This was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, it's just something to do other than play the normal basketball game. But two, Jordan was infamously not usually in sports games. He wasn't part of the NBA Players Association, so they would have had to pay him individually to feature him. Hopefully the pay was worth it for EA. Anyway, I didn't know much what I was doing. I wanted to posterize him so bad, but I couldn't even get close to the rim. I did manage to block one of his shots, but he just kept getting offensive rebounds. He's too good, man. That's why he's the GOAT. So anyway, the way we handle sports games in this challenge is win the main championship of that sport in the quickest way the game allows. This game has a playoffs mode, so that's what we'll be doing to beat this game. I decided to play as the Pacers because they're awesome. They had Mark Jackson at point guard, Reggie Miller and Chris Mullin at shooting guard, Dale Davis at power forward, and Rick Smits at center. One thing I found interesting is in the options, there was a page where you could fine-tune all the rules of the game. Everything except the shot clock was just turned off by default, so you know what? I decided to run with it. That sounds like a way to spice things up. My first game was against the Milwaukee Bucks. They had Sam Cassell at point guard, Ray Allen at shooting guard, Glenn Robinson at small forward, Robert Traylor at power forward, and Irvin Johnson at center. Who threw that tip-off up anyway? Right away, I could tell the frame rate was, not the greatest. Hey man, where's the foul on that rebound? Oh wait, rules are off. There are no fouls. Every time the computer would go to shoot, they'd do a minimum of 3 pump fakes. It didn't even help them make it, so I don't know what they were doing. You can bring up passing icons, which are nice from a basketball game this old. I got the first score of the game with an awkward jumper from Chris Mullin. You can even use them on defense to choose which player to swap to. One thing I get frustrated with in these older basketball games is the players not going for a layup. Like, go for the contested layup or dunk there. Why do the awkward forward jump shot? The game is clearly unrealistic because Reggie Miller missed a wide open 3 here. That would never happen. Also, with rules off, we can just run out of bounds all we want. I think the 3-point detection is a bit off. Miller's feet were way over the line, but this counted as a 3-pointer. Hey, I'll take it. God, there are like 20 people going for the rebound here. How did I not get that one? And look at this. Why did Mullin just take a jump shot here? The dunk and shoot buttons are the same. It's just supposed to detect that you want to dunk in that scenario. Finally, in the third quarter, Reggie Miller had the first layup of the entire game for either team. It does this really janky looking replay sometimes. I think it's supposed to feel like it's in slow motion, but yeah, that's a bit rough to watch. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. I think the graphics look okay. The UI elements are crisp and the court itself looks really nice. There's even some simulated lighting on it. The players look decent for the time period, although their hands look weird. The crowd is, well, it's there. I think the main issue is that the game runs at a low frame rate. It's consistent, but I think it just feels bad compared to a modern game. The audio has the sound of the shoes squeaking, the ball bouncing, and the crowd cheering. Don Poirier is on commentary, but it's pretty unremarkable.
To Traylor, to Allen. Fake, puts up the shot, misses the tray. Davis gets the board.
Anyway, we beat the Bucks 23-12 and we're moving on to the second round. My second game was against the Philadelphia 76ers. They had Matt Geiger at center, Theo Ratliff at power forward, George Lynch at small forward, Eric Snow at point guard, and the legendary Allen Iverson at shooting guard. Let's get into the highlights. The 76ers control the opening tip-off. Eric Snow misses the long-range jumper, and then Geiger can't make the follow-up. The Pacers get the rebound, and Reggie Miller drives to the basket for the easy layup. Pacers up 2-0. A few possessions later, and Allen Iverson misses the short-range jumper. Smits gets the rebound, and the Pacers drive down the court for the fast break for a lay-in for Chris Mullin. Up 4-0 now. Geiger misses a short-range jumper, but gets his own rebound and lays it in for the 76ers' first bucket. Smits driving down with a wide-open drive to the basket, and that was one of the weirdest layups I've ever seen. Come on, big guy, slam it in there. Second quarter now, Geiger goes for a jumper in the paint, but it's rejected by Chris Mullin. What a defensive play. Iverson goes for a weird forward jump shot just before the end of the first half, putting the score at 10-4 Pacers going into halftime. These guys just refuse to dunk the ball. Geiger goes for a weird jumper instead of one with no one in front of him. 10-6 Pacers now. And then on the very next possession, Smits does the exact same. These people know they can dunk, right? Now Ratliff posting up under the basket, goes for the side fade, and it hits. 12-10 Pacers. We've got a close one here, folks. And finally, after 3 quarters of play, Rick Smits gets the first dunk of this entire playoffs. It's like we're playing back in the 50s here. This is uncharted territory. Reminder, folks, the refs are nowhere to be seen. Smits shoves Geiger in the back and no call. There's no one to make the call. This is rough ball and I love it. Dale Davis drives down and gets our second dunk of the game to put the Pacers up 4 going into the fourth quarter. Now in the fourth, the Pacers have finally realized what they need to do. Chris Mullin is just playing dirty on the inbounds, but there's nothing the 76ers can do. It's so easy to steal it if you just tackle the other guy. Look at this. Allen Iverson makes a horrible pass, but it doesn't matter. The invisible wall keeps the ball in play, and the 76ers set themselves up for a three-pointer. This is normally where we'd see some fouls to stop the clock, but that's not happening in this series. They're just showing off now. Rick Smits tries a fadeaway from half court. You're not Steph Curry, buddy. The Pacers take the win 28-15 in dominating fashion. The 76ers just didn't want to play rough out there, and it showed. So in the semifinals, we were up against the New York Knicks. They had Patrick Ewing at center, Marcus Camby at power forward, Latrell Sprewell at small forward, Allen Houston at shooting guard, and Charlie Ward at taking point. Jeez, what a stacked lineup. Okay, this is amazing. With no rules, there's no traveling penalty. So Chris Mullin can just jump down the court like this. Oh my god, that's pretty funny. We beat the Knicks 38-3. It was much easier now that I knew I could just do whatever the heck I wanted. In the finals, we were up against the Portland Trail Blazers. Yeah, they actually used to be decent. They had Arvydas Sabonis at center, Brian Grant at power forward, Rasheed Wallace at small forward, Steve Smith at shooting guard, and Damon Stoudemire at point guard. Hey, where the heck is Scottie Pippen? We all know he was the real star of the Bulls. We beat the Trailblazers 31-2, and that was it. The Indiana Pacers were the NBA national champions. The only acknowledgement you get is a picture saying you were the champions in the playoff bracket. Real nice. So one other thing I like to check out in these NBA games is the three-point contest. Reggie Miller is who I pick, obviously. He's the best to ever do it. I mean, it's pretty basic. You grab the ball and shoot. Just a fun little side thing if you're bored. Alright, one more thing. I didn't actually beat Jordan in that one-on-one at the start of this vid, so I felt I probably should. This time I played as Shaq, who somehow made the 3 to get the ball first. Did you know he only made 1 3-pointer in his entire career? Now I could actually block his shots. Too bad he can just get his own rebounds though. Yeah, this wasn't working. I swapped to Kobe instead. Now I could at least shoot the ball since it was impossible to get past his defense. It was all tied up at 10 with 11 to win. MJ goaltended me, but apparently you have to win by 2. With the most awkward jump shot ever, I took the win 12-10. Get wrecked, Jordan. For beating him, it said I unlocked him as a free agent to use in other game modes. That's pretty cool, honestly. The final thing this game offers is an arcade mode. It's just the same as the normal game, except there's a trail on the ball when you shoot, and the dunk animations are a lot more exaggerated. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating NBA Live 2000. What can I say? It's another sports simulation game. At least we can say this is the last time we'll ever see NBA Live in this challenge, right? I actually don't dislike sports games, but playing the older ones, especially from this early 3D era, is just a chore. Things that I feel should work just don't. Why is it so hard to make the player go for a layup or dunk the ball? I think this is a graphical improvement over the last game, and I thought getting to play one-on-one versus Jordan was a cool addition. It's just not the greatest to play though. I imagine the PC version ran a lot better, so that would have been the one to play. I'm even seeing online how you could upload your face to put yourself in the game as a player. For the time, this was probably great, but now it's a rough experience. I gave it a 3 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. We got 213 left on the list. We shall see what we get. Could be Mia Hamm, Soccer, Tetris 64, Star Wars Battle for Naboo, Clay Fighter, maybe even Mike Piazza's Strike Zone. Let's find out. All right. Down everybody goes in a spiral. Toying with the idea, and actually some are already going down. The cameraman is completely lost, folks. Where is this going? I think the cameraman has found his way, and it's Star Fox 64 with an early lead, quite ahead of the rest of the people. But we do have split paths, so, and Star Fox currently in the lead. We got a lot of marbles on this other path. Star Fox currently dominating, and there's not much in the way. Biofreaks, Iggy's Wrecking Balls, Cruisin' USA as well. We got a lot of pretty solid games. And Star Fox, the first one down these spirals. And Worms Armageddon made a play. Some marbles trying to take a shortcut, but it's just not paying off. A very risky strat, but I do like it. Star Fox 64 currently leading, but Puyo Puyo Party making a play and actually gives Star Fox a bit of a boost there. Bumps into the back. Tetris 64 on the other side. Star Fox 64, Famitsu 64, whatever the heck that is. Star Fox 64 is coming down. We're near the end of the track now. Star Fox 64, Famitsu 64. It could be anything. Famitsu 64, Biofreak, Star Fox 64. Famitsu 64 is in the lead. Biofreak's not too far behind. There's just some bumps in the way. And what is it going to be, folks? It is Famitsu 64. Whatever the heck that is. Biofreaks, NBA Hang Time, Star Fox, Jet Force Gemini. Didn't quite make the cut. And Ocarina of Time is just way back here. What the heck? Alright. Famitsu 64. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button. Or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.